Welcome everyone, this is Combate Global live on YouTube. Our preliminary fight between Nicaragua's Sharon Martinez and Claudia Pisaro from Chile, but representing Dominican Republic. I am Rodolfo Roman, joined alongside Alex Wendling, and this is Combate Global. The 2025 season has started. Alex, I cannot wait. It's an all-women's fight card. This is Combate Female.
Yes, tonight is the night. You can feel the energy here in Miami, and you know that the women of Combate Global's roster always bring the action, and especially when it is their Combate Global debut.
And we have some phenomenal fighters here tonight. These ladies bring it every single time inside La Jaula. It's open for business. I know you've been itching to see some of the Mucho Más Acción, but hey, you're catching it right here live on YouTube for free. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so anytime that we upload any videos or any live events like this, you go ahead and watch it. Let's go to Beatriz Calles for the official introduction.
5, 4, 3, 2, well, make sure on camera.
Entrando a la jaula, Sharon Martínez.
And there she is, sporting the blue and the white Nicaraguan flag. Puro Pinolera. My parents happen to be from Nicaragua, home of the legendary boxer Alexis Arguello. This young lady making her debut in La Jaula for the very first time. Her second professional fight in MMA. Alex, looking forward
Su
to it.
oponente.
She's definitely an armbar queen.
Su oponente, Claudia Pizarro.
Chile. That's right, Claudia La Lobita Pisaro. Originally from Santiago, Chile, but moved to the Dominican Republic to train with Team Mordan. You're familiar with that camp. We've had some stars that have competed here in La Jaula, but this young lady ready for action, only her second pro fight.
And she's just 21 years old. She's probably feeling the nerves right now, but she's also looking locked in, ready to go to take on Sharon Martinez.
Both these ladies will be in action. Do not be deceived. They are very pretty, very beautiful, but boy, they pack a punch. Mucho más acción. That's what we're all about in Combate Global. 25 years old for Martinez compared to the 21 of Pisaro. Very, very young age. The height there, 3-inch difference. Martinez has the edge and the reach, 63.8 to 62.0, and the weight almost evenly right there with the 0.6 and the 0.4 of the difference. Beatriz Calles, introduce the fighters.
Continuamos con mucha más acción este duelo. En la división peso paja, we continue with much more action this bout. In the strawweight division, los jueces son the judges are Richard Green Sr., James Lázaro, and John Rupert. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Introducing the blue corner, en la esquina azul, wearing blue, vestida de azul, su peso oficial, 115.6 libras, her official weight, 115.6 pounds, con un récord profesional de una victoria. She enters la jaula undefeated as a pro with one victory. De Managua, Nicaragua, Sharon Diamond Martínez. En la esquina roja, in the red corner, wearing white and red, vestida de blanco y rojo. Su peso oficial, 115.4 libras. Her official weight, 115.4 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula con una victoria. Tonight, she enters la jaula with one victory. De Santiago de Chile, vía Santo Domingo, Dominicana, Claudia La Lobita Pizarro. El referee, Ramón Ramos.
Acá. Una podemos atrás, ¿verdad? Una pregunta, que Dios les bendiga a las dos. Toque guante, para atrás, te quedamos ready.
And there we have it. Ray Ramos, the third man, the third person in La Jaula. This is an all-women's female fight card. Sharon Martinez in the blue, Pisaro in the red.
Let's go. It's the first fight of 2025 and straight into the action from these ladies.
Alex, making your debut in La Jaula, second pro fight. The butterflies have to be there.
The butterflies definitely have to be there, and the adrenaline dump will be too if these girls really let it all out within the first minute. But that's what they got to do.
Sharon Martinez was talking to her earlier on, a big fan of Alexis Arguello, legendary boxer. Also trains with the likes of Chimi Morales, who competed at Copa Combate not too long ago here inside La Jaula. Trains out of the camp in Managua, Nicaragua, a very popular one, Extreme Combat Academy. 25 years old. She is very versed in jiu-jitsu. If you look at her resume, pretty much all of her fights have won by decision.
Yeah, and we got to talk about Sharon Martinez. Her amateur run, first 6 fights of her career, all armbar wins.
And this is where she wants it, right here to the ground, but we can see she's trying to go maybe for that ankle lock, Alex.
And there's so many ways that people get creative with their ankle locks now, especially the Aoki trending. But now she's looking to pass in a bit of a scramble from these two.
For Pisaro training with Jose Mordan, basically has had some of the top fighters out of the Dominican Republic. We've seen some that competed in La Jaula in Copa Combate. And there it is, Alex. Tell us here exactly. It's a dangerous position for Pizarro. What does she need to do to get that right foot out of the way, out of danger?
Yeah, Pizarro's definitely at this point going to have to put her weight towards Sharon and really lay some ground and pound like she's doing right now. She was initially looking for a knee bar, some type of leg entry, but that's pretty interesting considering we know how much success she's had in the armbar. She's immediately going for the legs, but now she's giving up this arm triangle-like position. She wants to stay away from that and try to escape this position.
Pisaro, prior to her MMA, she started off with karate, then later on moved her way onto jiu-jitsu and Korean boxing and said, well, hey, I know a little bit of everything, might as well mix it up and take myself into mixed martial arts and test myself to see where I am. Her brother, too, trained in karate. So this is a family full of martial arts, was inspired to train in martial arts thanks to the legendary Hall of Famer, Miss Ronda Rousey. Ever since then, she said, I need to do what she did. That is an inspiration, just like many women have been inspired by Ronda Rousey.
Yes, it's definitely a fan favorite and big motivation for a lot of women. And, you know, if you get your first armbar in your professional career, you know you're kind of sparked by a Ronda Rousey movement. But here we still see Martinez looking for an inversion to the knee bar, but she's just taking a lot of punishment. You got to wonder if she's going to ditch that idea and go somewhere else here, but she's hungry for it.
She is not letting go. And one thing they let you know in jiu-jitsu is, hey, if it's not working, switch to something else. But that's not the case here, Alex.
Yeah, with the knee bar, you can usually go from knee bars to toe holds, switch off from there. But because she's starting to get a little bit of torque on that. She's hungry for that knee bar, just basically making it very uncomfortable.
We're just about hitting the 1.5 minute mark here in the first round. First bout of the 2025 season Combate Global. Our main card here on YouTube will start at 8 p.m. Sharon Martinez could be in trouble. Ray Ramos keeping a close eye. Those punches coming in. Fight is over. 2-0 for the lady from Santiago de Chile, Alex.
Pizarro gets it done in dominant fashion. She did not let those leg entries scare her. And man, Sharon, she's just definitely disappointed in herself because she was so hungry for the leg lock, but man, it was Pizarro's night.
Was that a mistake on Sharon, that she just didn't switch gears to something else and just stood there idle, just forcing that submission?
Yeah, you definitely would have thought after the first 4 or 5 solid elbows and punches that were coming down, she might have switched thoughts, but sometimes when you're in that position, the pressure is just that tough and you can't escape.
She couldn't just shrimp out, get out, and take it to the feet. Phenomenal victory there for the young lady, Claudia La Lobita Pizarro. Folks from Chile, de la República Dominicana, watching us all over the world on YouTube live. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. We have more fight cards coming down very soon. Alex, phenomenal fight for the young lady of Chile.
Yes, and she used that blue belt that she has in jiu-jitsu to negate the knee bar attacks that was coming from Martinez. And then, man, did she take control when she was on top with that ground and pound finish. Beautiful work from the Chilena.
Beautiful shots right there, right elbows to the head. Sharon just felt that one right there. She might have been out of that position if you see it for maybe a second or two.
Yeah, and the referee really gave her plenty of time to recover. And as soon as she got flattened out, I think it was pretty clear that that was the right call.
Ray Ramos there being very lenient, getting a couple of shots in there. Great stuff. Hailing that Chilean flag very, very proudly. Now calls Dominican Republic. In fact, she says, not only doing the MMA stuff, I'm trying to learn some bachata out here, some salsa, folklore, Dominican Republic music. So this lady is from Chile, but in her heart, she has a lot of passion and appreciation of the Dominican Republic culture. Great way to kick off this evening. Bloody nose for Sharon Martinez, and that's one thing you're going to see from the white jaula. You're going to see that red color that's going to stand out.
I wonder if they're going to clean it, if they're going to keep it there for aesthetic.
Well, you know, we are in Miami, right? And we have this famous art event in December, Art Basel. So why not? Maybe we could even get a little piece of the canvas and put it for display in Art Basel, right? Beatriz Calles for the official result of this first bout of 2025. Beatriz, take it away.
El tiempo oficial. 3 minutos y 38 segundos en el round número 1. The official time, 3 minutes and 38 seconds of round number 1. And the winner by technical knockout, la ganadora por knockout técnico, Sharon Martínez.
That's Claudia Pisaro with the victory. Phenomenal win for the young lady of Chile. Great stuff for the young lady, man. That has to be so amazing to get this victory, fighting for the first time here in Miami, Florida. Let's take a look at some of the action that took place in this first bout, Alex.
Yes, these two were ready to go. Our first fight of the night. And they love their moment in their shine when they're in there. The camera's in their face, not camera shy at all. But here, Sharon Martinez's strategy was good. She wanted to enforce her jiu-jitsu game. She tried to get the takedown and immediately starts inverting for knee bars, any type of leg entry. I mean, we even saw her attack the ankle at one point, but she just couldn't get any true secureness with her positioning. And I think that's why Claudia was able to get back on top and really do some damage.
It goes back sometimes that you got to really train your mind in the gym to stop being stubborn. If you have that one position, that one submission, it's okay to switch. It's okay to move to the other position that's going to get you out of trouble. And if it's not working, you've been there for a couple of seconds or a minute. Either way, 8 p.m., we start the main card. You heard earlier on today as we welcome you. If you're just tuning in, we welcome you. 2025 season of Combate Global is starting right now. Here live and free on YouTube all over the world. Rodolfo Roman, Alex Wendling. We got just a little taste of what's anticipated here this evening in Miami, Florida. Our main event, Maritza Sanchez, who's been a staple inside La Jaula, taking on Kate Bashik, all the way from England, 5-2, coming in here and says, hey, I'm pretty confident. I know Sanchez has been pretty much running all over her opponents. But you know, they have one thing in common, Alex, and that's that they both defeated Dee Bagley. Now, where it gets interesting is Sanchez defeated Bagley by a body shot.
One of the most viral body shots that we've had in the Combate Jaula as well.
And you can check it right here on our YouTube channel. Bacik defeated Dee Bagley by submission. Could that tell you something about what we can anticipate here tonight?
And the only time Maritza has lost was by that rear naked choke submission, by her first pro debut against Tina Pettigrew. So could we see some urgency to get to the ground from the Jiu-Jitsu brown belt? I think that could be the story. But again, Maritza Sanchez at distance is such a problem, but we've also seen her work in the clinch as well. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one in the main event.
We're going to see is Bacik test Maritza Sanchez ground game here tonight, if Sanchez is ready up for the test. Also, in the co-main event, it's made headlines. LA Times picked it up. Kenia Enriquez, the debut. Boxer turned MMA. We get ready now for our next bout. We're going to get started very soon here with our next bout. Sayury Cañon coming up, representing Colombia. That'll be the next fight on deck to open up the main card. This took place during the weigh-ins. This young lady training out of Colombia, but also trained in Mexico out of Lobos Gym, a gym that is so well recognized in the world of women's MMA. Why? Well, because the likes of Alexa Grasso straight there. Also, you've seen this lady. She is a vet, has competed here in Combate Global in several weight classes. Nicdali, the Night Queen Rivera. Such a talented person, not only inside La Jaula, but creatively, Alex. In fact, she even wrote a comic book, has stories to tell. Such a great story. Named after the artist Salvador Dali. Competed in the 125-pound division, 115 and 105. This fight is going to be absolutely amazing. Going to bring fireworks. Every time that Rivera steps in there, man, she's ready to go toe-to-toe, Alex.
Yeah, Nicdali is definitely a character as well. I did an interview with her earlier this week, and she had some type O blood from one of her familiars, as she is a vampire and has a very big fan base that supports her in any way that they can, and she prefers to drink blood, and her familiars send her some, every fight week to keep her hydrated, strong, and very vicious inside La Jaula.
Believes a lot in the way that she treats her body, what she eats. Make sure it makes a difference in her performance inside La Jaula. And now, all the way from Poland, Wiktoria. Here we go. I know it's a tongue twister for your Americans here, but Wojciechowska stepping in Combate Global's La Jaula for the very first time. This lady, very powerful. Her last competition was in November of 2024, and she'll be taking on the returning Yazmín La Niña Árbol Najera of Mexico City, Mexico. She last competed in Combate Global in September 2023, but last competed in May 24. She's had some success.
Yes, Yazmín is definitely a fan favorite. I remember when I would be creating TikToks, she would always go viral, even if it's just a clip of her walkout. That's how much fans love her. And she's training out of Bone Breakers in the city of Mexico, but also has been incorporating some different gyms. I've seen her in Vegas as well, Tijuana, really filling in all the gaps. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one, Poland versus Mexico.
Najera has some great stand-up there, but I must say, Wojciechowska has a lot of power, some of that wrestling, that grappling that could be a problem for the lady from Mexico City, La Niña Árbol. We will see who takes that one later on this evening here live on YouTube. And, man, I'm really excited and stoked for this one, our co-main event. Hayley, the Bloody Valentine from Northampton, England. Walking in to La Jaula for the very first time. She brings a lot of power, but she's very confident that an undefeated streak will bring the heat against a phenomenal multiple champion in boxing, Kenia, the Mexican Queen Enriquez. We saw the debut of Amanda Serrano when she came to in competition of MMA in Combate Global. She had success. Can this lady repeat?
She definitely can, and she is out to do that. It was very interesting to see her in the interviews. So charismatic and so reinvigorated by her love for a new sport, which is MMA. She said that she's been running the game in boxing, and now being able to challenge herself with something new has really set her heart on fire. Which is something you kind of need when you're 31 years old and trying to continue on, like something interesting to keep you on your toes.
You can never be comfortable in what you do, Alex. And certainly some of these fighters do. Yes, listen, I've wiped the floor in all the divisions in boxing. I need something fresh. I need to test myself. Now, she last competed in boxing some few months ago, back in February of 2024. So it's been a little bit year and change. So she had that time to go and learn some of the MMA fundamentals, at least, right? That takedown defense, which is what the problem that most boxers have when they make that transition. I just remember right now, the top of my head, James Toney, who competed against Randy Couture. We know how that ended up. But Kenia Enriquez has been training with some tough women out there that prepared her. And then in her main event, Kate, Queen of the South, Bashik, making in her La Jaula debut tonight. all the way from London, England. This lady comes in with a lot of power, great grappling, great striking, and she has a lot of gut and determination, can withstand some punches. So it could be a problem or a strong test versus Maritza Sanchez. She's been out of competition for some time. Just reflecting on her career, Alex, she told me, you know, I took this time to really work a little bit more on my technique. You're going to see something different, and I believe her. She's been training with the likes of Valentine Shevchenko, a world champion.
Yes, I mean, when you have the squad of people that you have at Team Alpha Male, you're surrounded. Iron sharpens iron is how the saying goes, and that's definitely what we'll see here. And the way these two are looking through each other's souls right now was crazy. The energy was intense.
I can't wait. And listen, if you're commenting right there on YouTube, feel free to do so. Let us know where you're watching. This is live on YouTube. Combate Global, mucho más acción. That is our motto, much more action, because that is what we promise you every time that you tune in to watch La Jaula. Two individuals, especially when we have the women competing here this evening in Miami, Florida. Man, I cannot wait for this stuff. 8 p.m. we get started live on YouTube. All of Combate Global action. We just saw some of the clips from last night's weigh-in. Alex, which fight are you most looking forward to?
I think I gotta go with the return of Yazmín Nájera versus Wiktoria, because that fight is going to be a lot of power versus power. So I think that's my top one. All
right. Well, with that said, we're about to get our fight card underway. Let's go ahead and toss it to our official Jaula announcer, Beatriz Calles.
Estoy aquí acompañada con Patricio Razo, más conocido como Pato Razo. Pato, welcome to Combate Global. Bienvenido nuevamente. You were here in the weigh-ins yesterday. Estuviste aquí en el pesaje ayer en la noche. Obviamente tenemos una cartelera muy competitiva. We have a great card tonight. What do you think about the card and what are your predictions for the main event? ¿Qué piensas acerca de la cartelera que traemos hoy? Y obviamente, ¿cuáles son tus predicciones para el evento estelar?
Primero que nada, muy emocionado de estar aquí. De verdad, ver estas peleas en vivo, wow, es una locura. Es mucho mejor de lo que imaginan. It's incredible. It's much better than can you imagine and watching TV. And toda la cartelera, todas las peleas van a ser increíbles, va a ser una locura. Esta fue la primera y fue, wow, o sea, estoy temblando incluso. My prediction for the stellar event will be a long fight. Will be a very furious fight, incredible, and
¿No crees que vayan a ir a la distancia?
Yo creo, wow, es que estoy hasta temblando de la emoción. Quiero verlo. Siento que va a ser una batalla larga. Van a aguantar muchísimo, pero va a estar súper intensa. Obviamente, me encantaría que gane México. Soy de México. Me encantaría que gane México, pero wow, las dos son increíbles. Both are incredible. I hope to Mexico to win, but I hope and I'm pretty sure will be the best fight I will see ever.
I see you nervous. Te veo tenso. Tranquilo. So, we have a night full of action, so stay tuned because we come for way more. So, back to you.
Pato is nervous. This dude has like 500,000 on Instagram. And he's telling me he's nervous?
I mean, after all the energy that we're feeling, I can totally understand it. His videos are hilarious. I was stalking him quite a bit, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this all
person,
night.
Aren't you?
Okay, they're very entertaining.
I caught her in the line right here, folks. Yeah, that dude has over 500,000. And he's out here all the way from Mexico.
Yeah, but we also got to talk about Foos Gone Wild in the house is going to be here.
Little Mr. E, that dude, Foos. You got that Cholo vibe going. I even saw him. He was at the WWE Monday Night Raw sporting that Cholo look.
Wow.
He got that Jason mask looking thing. Foos, Little Mr. E, you got some cool stuff. Hook me up. I want to wear this stuff right here in La Jaula.
I mean, he even has something that you can measure your socks with.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs to go on Shark Tank with that. He sold like over 300,000 of them. It's crazy.
Sure, Mark Cuban is watching us tonight. So, Cuban, there you go. Little Mr. E, you got something going on here. But listen, enough of the jokes. Tonight, it's a serious thing because these women are about to give it their all inside La Jaula. It's the first bout of 2025. So I'm sure these girls are going to bring everything inside there. And they bring it all. If you just look at some of the previous fights that we've had here, some of the top women every single time. Bloody warfare every single time, Alex.
Yes, and I just want to give a shout out to one of the fighters that we were supposed to have. It was Yanet Garcia versus Nicole Gerardo. Unfortunately, that fight had to be canceled, but we know how much we love both of those fighters. Yanet Garcia always bringing the action, but now we have this stacked card in front of us, and just really paying tribute to how hard these women work. On and off the mats, wherever they are. And I think doing it during Women's History Month is a really special time to do it as well, just shortly after National Women's Day as well. So shout out to them. I know that they're going to bring the action. I mean, we've already promised you that, and we saw it in our prelim just now with the first round finish. What more can we expect? I mean, wow.
Yeah, with Claudia Pizarro taking on that TKO victory in the first, routing Sharon Martínez out of Nicaragua. And we have some great stuff out here. Great people all dressed all in white for the occasion. Again, you're not in heaven. This is La Hala. But if the MMA were to take in heaven, maybe this is how it would look like, Alex.
It really is beautiful in here.
So. Really cool stuff.
Anytime you're in the Univision studio, for sure.
And it's also cold, too, which is not that cold outside. Either way, listen, we're about to get started. 8 p.m., main card. Tell your friends, tell your grandma, your abuelas, whatever you got.
Subscribe.
And it's free.
Come for you.
It's free. Tell them. Subscribe. Watch the action. Mucho más acción. Beatriz Calles. Introduce.
Entrando a la jaula. Sayury Cañon. Sayury Cañon.
Sayury Cañon from Colombia. A lady very amped, stoked to make her debut inside La Hala for the very first time. Was influenced to compete in mixed martial arts thanks to her friend and a very familiar face in MMA, Alejandra Azul Lara, who has also competed here in Combate Global. Right now did a fight camp in Ultimate Combat Fitness. We have much to say after Beatriz Calles introduces her opponent. Beatriz, take it away.
Her opponent, Nicdali Rivera.
Nicdali, the Night Queen Rivera, is a family fight. I mean, that's all they did, fighting. It's all about her husband is a competitor in jiu-jitsu. She fights. She's telling me her dad's like 70 years old, still ripped, doing surfing. This is an athletic family that takes care of themselves. And looking forward to this OG of La Jaula, Rivera, coming once again, looking for that knockout. We are live here on YouTube, the first event, Combate Global in 2025. We've been talking about this phenomenal fight card, an all-women's fight card, Combate Female, to kick off the season. Rodolfo Roman, Alex Yendling. This is our main card of the evening. We told you earlier on, Maritza Sanchez taking on Kate Bashik in our main event, Kenia Enriquez in the co-main event. As we go to our first bout of a main event, our main card, with Beatriz Calles to introduce the First Ladies, Nicdali Rivera taking on Sayury Cañon. Beatriz with the introduction.
Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global.
This is Combate Global, Combate Female, to kick off the 2025 season live and free on YouTube. Subscribe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Rodolfo Roman, Alex Wendling, right here, ready to call the action. All women ready to go, Alex.
Yes, they're ready to go. And who better to start off the night than Nicdali, who was there for the first event of Combate Global. She's ready to bring the action, her 22nd fight.
A lady that's competed in several weight classes here in La Hala, an OG of the MMA world, competed all over the world as well. As we take a look at these ladies, it's Colombia versus the United States of America. Also Poland versus Mexico as Wojciechowska takes on Najera later on, followed by our co-main event, the talk of the town. Hayley Valentine taking on the debut, multiple boxing champion Kenia Enriquez. And to top off the night, just to put the cherry on top, we got Kate Bashik from England taking on Maritza Sanchez, who's been on a winning streak for 5 years. Beatriz Callis, kick us off for the first bout of our main card.
Oh my God, I just finished the most amazing experience I've had in my life. La experiencia más espectacular de mi vida. But remember, gentlemen, start your engines! Wait, I'm not in Combate. But anyway, start your engines. I'm leaving. Bye, nos vemos ahora. Chao.
I'm coming. I'm sorry, but I almost didn't make it, but I'm coming. Hola, hola.
And there's a tail of the tape. Cañon in blue out of Colombia. Height just about the same, 5'3", 60-inch reach for Cañon, 63 inches for Rivera has the advantage. And then on the weight, slightly difference there. Rivera taking the upper edge with the weight class. Beatriz Callis, take it away.
Welcome to Combate Global. Bienvenidos a Combate Global. Esta noche traemos un show muy especial. Tonight we bring a very special show. It's Ladies Night. It's Noche de Damas. And the question is, are you ready? Y arrancamos con mucha más acción. Las reglas de la jaula. 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces, utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo en la división peso paja desbao. In the strawweight division, los jueces son, the judges are Elian Rodríguez, Richard Green Sr. y James Lázaro. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Introducing the blue corner, la esquina azul, wearing blue, vestida de azul. Su peso oficial, 115.6 libras. Her official weight, 115.6 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 4 victorias y 1 derrota. With a pro record, 4 victories and 1 defeat. From Bogotá, Colombia, via Phoenix, Arizona, Sayury Cañon. En la esquina roja, in the red corner, wearing red, vestida de rojo. Su peso oficial, 116 libras. She tipped the scale at 116 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula con 10 victorias y 11 derrotas. Tonight, she enters la jaula with 10 victories and 11 losses. From Chihuahua, Mexico, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Nicdali, Night Queen Rivera. El referee, Christopher Miñoki.
Vamos. Ok. Escúchame todo el tiempo. Cuídate todo el tiempo. Si quieres tocar guantes, tocar ahora. Buena suerte a los dos. All right, clear.
Mr. Miñoki, the third person in La Jaula to get things going. Rivera in red. Cañon in blue. USA versus Colombia.
Dale.
And here we go, the first bout of our main card. Alex Wendling, what are you looking for here?
I noticed that they didn't do a glove touch in the beginning, and now they're just right into the action, so you know that they're focused and ready to go. Nicdali, she is a purple belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, so let's see if we can see some crazy rubber guard action from here as well. But wow, now we're seeing some elbows straight to the head.
Not surprised by Cañon going straight down for the takedown. Part of the Colombian Olympic team competed for that, and that's when she told herself, listen, I've accomplished a lot in wrestling. I need to do something else. Met Azul and said, hey, come on over to Los Lobos, Mexico, come train MMA, trying to work on the striking. Of course, she had that wrestling, as you're seeing here, single leg, straight to the floor. And she's had much success very on in her early career as an MMA fighter.
And we are definitely seeing that wrestling from Sayury here, and she is really hungry to get things to the ground as well, and then also showcase that pressure that we saw. Immediately made Nicdali give up her back, and luckily nothing happened there, but now we're even seeing some hard overhand rights.
And Nicdali coming off a defeat not long ago, or late last year, back in December of 2024. It's a split decision, very close fight.
Wow, in this clinch, you're seeing Sayury get the better of it for sure.
One thing about Rivera, Alex, and we've seen it in action, starts picking up the pace later in the fight. Starts off very slow, picking her opponent, feeling her out.
But both of these fighters mentioned in their interviews that they don't like boring fights. They want it to be active the whole time. But now we're starting to see some of those punches land from Sayury. But again, Nicdali has a lot of grit. So
Grab your box of popcorn, Alex, because this is for a great fight. Nicdali does not hold back whatsoever. Great attempt to a spinning back fist, but nobody home. Good way of Rivera blocking that, getting herself out the way. You can see there, playing that distance, not allowing Cañon to go in for the single or double leg for the takedown.
Nice combination from Nicdali, who's been working with Julian Robertson and Dean Thomas over there at Goche. And now we're starting to see some action from both these ladies.
Got some leather right in the pocket. You mentioned about Rivera, used to live in the West Coast, now calls Florida home. There is the takedown from Cañon. Typical wrestler, that base, man. If you have that in MMA, you could go a very long way in this sport, Alex.
Yes, and she's immediately working to the back. She has one hook in now, looking to get that seatbelt grip and then move into an even more dominant position. But Nicdali, so far, is having all right defense, getting her hips out, and she escapes that. Beautiful work, especially considering the wrestling background of Sayury.
Oh, great toss there by Cañon, straight to her back for Rivera. Has to escape this position. If you go back to the resume of Cañon, her first victory was by way of TKO in the first round. After that were decisions. I was speaking to Rivera. She says, man, I want that knockout. I want that quick win.
She might be looking to isolate this arm right here. And just, a lot of people might look at this and be like, there's not that much action going on. Look at the pressure that Sayury is putting on Nicdali right now. It is, if it wasn't a lot of heavy pressure, I guarantee Nicdali would be out of this right now, but she's going to have to find a way to get her head escaped and also protect that arm that might be looking to get isolated.
And now it's going to wave her
the back of the head.
Trying to get the hooks. Good way there of stepping up. Rivera. Oh, nice plex. Beautifully executed by Cañon. That's that Olympic wrestling. Tell the people that are watching that stuff how bad it feels when you have a person right there pinning you in that position. It's just horrible.
Yes, and it's almost like you want to get up, but even if you get up, Sayury is so great with her wrestling techniques. It's almost the case of, should Nicdali get to her close guard and work some of that jiu-jitsu that Sayury maybe isn't as experienced in? Because we're going to get another suplex if she's not careful. And into side control she goes, putting the shin to the face of Nicdali.
Alex, when every time Rivera attempts to get up, she's shrimping out. Maybe right here, look at that arm, very in a dangerous position here.
Yeah,
but every time she starts getting up, Alex, what does Rivera need to do to not get flexed again?
Yeah, she's going to have to get up, scramble, and then create distance so that she can avoid getting suplex, because she's looking for the same thing here and then also needs to protect her arm.
And
she's
going right here, there it is. She may be in trouble. Tap. Cañon, the first victory here in Combate Global. Woo! We may have a star in the making here, Alex.
Yeah, that was a 10 out of 10 performance, non-stop pace. The suplex took my breath away. I got a little bit nervous whenever you see someone potentially landing on their neck, but Nicdali looks like she's in great shape other than the fact that she just got armbarred in the first round, but that was a tough test.
Here in Miami, Florida, of course, Miami, Florida has a big population of Colombians that live out here. Let's take a look at some of the action. Man, Cañon, what a phenomenal debut for her inside La Jaula, Alex.
Yeah, it was just from start to finish, domination. But Nicdali was very, very putting in a lot of effort to the escapes. But like you said, when it goes to the suplexes and then straight into arm bars like this, that is a tough test.
Yeah, it was very deep out there, even if she were to turn her body. I mean, the position of that left leg and that knee right to her face, it made it nearly impossible. It almost feels like you're stuck in traffic here in Miami at 4 p.m. You just can't get out. It's like a parking lot.
Exactly. But a great win for the Colombian.
Phenomenal win for the young lady from Bogota. As we go to the official result in just a few, Alex, just to kick off this main card, Cañon, what a great debut for this young lady, defeating an OG in Combate Global.
And it's a birthday win. We're March 13th. Her birthday was March 11th.
A couple of days ago. Oh, man, I have a piece of cake. Beatrice.
El tiempo oficial, 4 minutos con 48 segundos del round número 1. The official time, 4 minutes and 48 seconds of round number 1. And the winner, by way of submission, la ganadora, por sumisión, Sayury Cañon!
Sayury Cañon out of Bogota, Colombia. Felicitaciones. Lots of Colombians out here in Miami, Florida. Very happy to see this young lady here compete. Javier Torres alongside. That's where she did her camp over in the Ultimate Combat Fitness in Arizona. Let's take a look at some of the work that took place in this first bout of the main card with Rivera in red and Cañon in blue, Alex.
And we saw some great exchanges on the feet before we got to all this action on the ground. Even the power of Sayury was something else, but Nicdali had some great answers with some great combinations, but then ultimately it was this suplex and another takedown that led to the armbar. That was absolutely beautiful work from the Colombian. A tough Nicdali, but still, all action from these ladies.
And the difference here was definitely that wrestling. I mean, Rivera came to strike and have a warfare, but Cañon said, I got something in my pocket, and that's that wrestling, that Olympic wrestling that I am known for. Coming up next, Wiktoria Wojciechowska from Mocina, Poland, taking on Yazmín La Niña Arbol Najera. Coming back to La Jaula, it's been some time since she's been in action here since September 2023. Since then, though, she did have a fight back in May of last year, was successful. Looking forward to this one. You got Najera, who's good on her striking, but Wojciechowska, Polish. I mean, you know those people out there. They're aggressive, especially with that wrestling and that grappling, Alex.
Yes, and as we can see, the fan favorite, Yazmín Nájera, she is getting taped up, focused, and ready to go. When we saw them face off, it was a very stoic look from both of them. These two are ready to let it fly.
Mucho más acción, and we will be back, obviously, with more action in April. We got some fight cards, including La Loba Acosta, the most watched female MMA fighter of all time.
And that's happening April 10th. We cannot wait to get La Loba back in the cage.
Can't wait for that. I'm excited for that. Every time La Loba is in action, all eyeballs are glued to the screen, whether it's streaming it or on broadcast, linear TV broadcast. They're always watching La Loba Acosta.
Then we also have the Mexican Jake Paul.
Ooh. We'll let you know about that one in just a few.
Maybe a little
don't tune out. Well, that's a secret. We'll let a little bit out there. All right, let's go off to just a short view here of our upcoming fight featuring Najera on Wojciechowska. Should be a doozy between these two ladies competing at 125 pounds. Man, excited. All women's fight card, Combate female, always bringing the heat. as we get ready for the official introduction of Beatriz Calles, who thankfully made it just in time after racing those cars.
We can
in
definitely
Homestead.
not have a show without Bea, especially Combate female. She is doing it, killing it, as always. Best announcer in the game.
Here we go. Let's go for the action.
Mi nombre es Yazmín Nájera, la niña árbol, y soy de Ciudad de México. Pertenecer a la cartelera de puras mujeres se siente muy bien, me siento emocionada porque pues jamás había peleado en una cartelera donde predominaran todas las mujeres y yo sé que va a ser muy buena cartelera.
My name is Wiktoria and I'm from Poland. I'm starting for kickboxing 7 years ago. I don't have fighting style, I like every position. I start from kickboxing, but I'm good in grappling, so it doesn't matter what position will be.
Desde mi pelea pasada he hecho bastantes cambios, he entrenado diferente, me he enfocado en un área que he tenido que mejorar bastante sin descuidar las otras y yo sé que esta pelea va a ser totalmente una nueva Yazmín.
In Poland we don't have only for women competition event. I always fight to the end and I'm giving my all.
La verdad no sé mucho de mi oponente, pero yo sé que con lo que yo he estado trabajando pueden esperar una Yazmín con una técnica muy diferente, más preparada tanto mentalmente como físicamente y pues una muy buena pelea.
Entrando a la jaula, Wiktoria Wojciechowska.
There she is, all the way from Poland, Wiktoria Wojciechowska, making her debut here in Combate Global. Her last competition was in November. Originally started with kickboxing, then made her way into jiu-jitsu. She said, I want to test myself where I am as an athlete and decided to go into MMA about 7 years ago. As we go to Beatriz Calles for the introduction of her opponent, La Niña Árbol.
Her opponent, Yazmín Najera.
Yazmín La Niña Árbol Najera out of Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico, returning to La Jaula. Last time we saw her, not long ago, back in 23 of September. Since then, she's been in action, picked up a victory last spring in May 2024. And she's ready to come back here and pick up another W in La Jaula. Says she's been working a lot of her technique as we go into the head-to-head. Wiktoria on the left side, 23 to 27 of Najera. 5'2 to 5'3, not much of a height difference, just 1 inch of a difference. And on the weight, just about even, 0.6, a little more there for Yazmín Najera. As we go to the official introduction, Beatriz Calles, take it away.
Continuamos con mucha más acción este duelo. En la división peso mosca, we continue with much more action this bout. In the flyweight division, los jueces son the judges are Elian Rodríguez, John Rupert, and Richard Green Sr. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Introducing the blue corner, la esquina azul, wearing black, vestida de negro. Su peso oficial, 126 libras, she tipped the scale at 126 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula con 3 victorias y 2 derrotas. Tonight, she enters the jaula with 3 victories and 2 losses. From Machina, Poland, Wiktoria Wojciechowska! In the red corner, la esquina roja, wearing white, vestida de blanco. Su peso oficial, 125 libras, her official weight, 125 pounds, con un récord profesional de 4 victorias y 1 derrota. With a pro record, 4 victories and 1 defeat. De sangre mexicana, Mexico City, México, Yazmín Niña Árbol Najera. El referee, Ramón Ramos.
Come here. Swing. Ven acá. We're going to put the rules in the dressing room. ¿Estás bien aquí? You good? Shake hands ahora. Que Dios los bendiga a los dos. Para atrás. Ya estamos ready. Back.
Ray Ramos, third person in La Jaula. Najera.
You're good.
In white.
You're good. Leon, you're good.
Wiktoria
Ready. Fight, ladies.
In the black. And here we go. Second bout of the main card. Combate Global. Combate female. Rodolfo Roman alongside Alex Wendling. Already starting up with a striking warfare, Alex. And the kicking, that's that kickboxing background from Wiktoria.
Wow, and immediately into a double leg attempt. But up against the cage is Yazmín Nájera. Ooh, a little foot stomp action we're getting.
I haven't seen that since, what, Kamaru Usman?
Yes, I love it.
He used to work a lot, especially when he took on Jorge Masvidal. It was really effective when he took on that fight. Maybe it's the difference here for
It's honestly
Wiktoria.
very strategic. Your
is.
first 40 seconds, you break someone's toe.
And very annoying.
Yes, that too.
It's like getting a flat tire. Like, come on, man. I was on my way to a party and I got a flat.
We're seeing Yazmín do a really good job of not getting taken down here. I know she's been in Las Vegas working a lot with the Cobrinha Jiu-Jitsu squad. Also in Tijuana, mixing up her training camps.
And it's always good when you go, Alex, and train at different camps. You get different knowledge, different information, advice.
Ooh, solid overhand right from Ladmini Arbol.
Great right hand, though, connected right to the face of Wiktoria. And one thing about Najera is her striking is sharp.
That jab is coming in from Yazmín.
Very effective and very powerful. She does have that knockout power. Now, how much can she take? That's the Polish. How much can she take those punches, or would she take it down to the ground, or would she go ahead and trade hands?
We're definitely seeing Wiktoria slow down a little bit, but she's also really timing that left hook when Yazmín comes in. So if she gets caught with that, it could be a close one.
Now, even those kicks are not coming in as powerful. She's swinging in there, being a little loosey-goosey, though, not too technical, exposing her face, Alex.
Yes, it's so fun to see these two ladies just meet inside the jaula, right in the middle, and let it fly.
Nothing will be held back from the... Oh, Lord, what a beautiful hook there from Yazmín. Corner telling Yazmín, hey, use those kicks. But not to kick too much. Let's just set it up. Working that feint, Alex.
Solid kick to the body from Najera.
Yeah, the momentum or the energy from Wiktoria is gone from 100 to like 40 all of a sudden.
Yeah, she came out really, really hot, and now she's starting to back up a little bit. And I think we see a more dangerous Kenia Alba when she's coming forward.
She feels confident. There's no way of stopping that lady. She is like a locomotive in there. And now
straight into a body lock, looking to get her down. Couldn't finish it there, but a nice knee in the clinch. Let's see what she can do with this overhook.
Is this a good chance here for Wiktoria to kind of catch her breath in this position, Alex?
I mean, it definitely is a time for her to catch her breath, but I'm sure Yazmín has been working on her circling off the cage and getting out of these positions. But we've also seen her throw some really great knees in her other fights when in this, and she just threw one right there. And you can only take so many of those.
And the elbow, and now remember, we got that 12-6 is allowed. Last time we were live in Combate, that wasn't in full effect, but now it is today. Just actually tuning into the back. So, hey, everybody, 12-6 is allowed, and that makes a major difference in MMA.
Yes. She's definitely now, Wiktoria is now utilizing those knees as well. Great pressure along the cage. But, look at those 12-6 elbows from Yazmín.
That could be the difference here. So there's no doubt that the striking from Yazmín is on point.
Now these two are jockeying for position here. Who will get the better of it? Some potential routes that they could do. It looks like Wiktoria is really trying to control the head.
And Wiktoria trying to look to get bounced back on her winning column, coming off of a defeat back in November. Last year, she even took a kickboxing bout that went to a decision.
awesome energy from both of these fighters right now. With the last 30 seconds of the first round, we haven't even gotten past the first round. So I'm excited that we get to see a little bit more action unless something crazy happens here within the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, I could just, taking a look at Yazmín, looks very confident the way she puts up her hands. Oh, beautiful kick there. That's a
beautiful team. She's coming in hot now.
Great stuff from Yazmín. You could definitely see that the technique is there. Just a few seconds left for the end of the first round. This is the first, can only imagine what the second will deliver. And that's the wrap for the first round of Yazmín and Wiktoria. Great stuff coming out of Yazmín. We saw Wiktoria coming in very strong, but that level of energy just came all the way down midway through that first round.
Yeah, the technique of Wiktoria kind of dropped off at the end there, and then we saw some beautiful strikes from Yazmín.
Take a listen to what they say in the corner here. Well, you got me there because I don't know Polish, but I can help you with the Spanish.
I te kalfy wal, bo one już podnosi nogę, ale przygotuj to, ty masz
You
tego
take
chcieć,
here,
chcesz tego kurwa
getting ready to go,
podnieś
getting
się,
those
kurwa, do
last
roboty, nie?
minute
Daj tu łapki tutaj na ten.
pointers from the corners.
No kurwa. Zdecydowanie, masz uwagę ten łeb.
Wojciechowska in black, blue corner, and Yazmín in the white. We get ready for second round action between these two ladies. Still got the co-main and main event coming up next. Second round. Let's see if Yazmín can keep up that pace. And was it enough that 1 minute between rounds? Wiktoria was able to catch her breath. We will find out. Oh, spinning back fist there, Alex. What does she need to do to go ahead and change the gears of this fight for Wiktoria, Alex?
She's definitely going to have to shock Yazmín like she just did with that spinning back fist. Mix it up, because when it comes to some of the orthodox jabs that Yazmín has been throwing, she's been not ducking from those. So she's really going to have to pick up the pace as well. But mixing in those spinning attacks is very entertaining for sure.
I mean, all the time you watch Combate Global is entertaining. It's their motto, mucho más acción, much more action. And there's that trade between two women going toe-to-toe, switching, sharing that leather. What I've noticed from Yazmín is she'll get those impulses, right? She'll go for that 1-2. She'll go for the combination, hold back, and come again. She's very consistent with that.
And tonight, the action isn't just in La Jaula, it's in the digital arena too. As these ladies bring the heat, we want to welcome a true heavyweight in the crypto world, Bitmart. Celebrating their 7th anniversary, and these fighters are also going to be paid by Bitmart with a crazy knockout.
There's
knockdown for Wiktoria. And straight to the back.
This is where Wiktoria can go ahead and capitalize on this momentum.
Okay, watch the back of the head. Good job.
And plenty of time left.
Referee warns Wiktoria, not the back of the head. I'm not sure how great her English is to understand everything, but
good enough to know when to
avoid him.
Yeah. This is a very dangerous position for Najera. Every time that we've seen her on the ground.
Can Yazmín escape this position? She's got that Mexican grit.
She's had some difficulties.
And you got to imagine, maybe she's so stunned from being knocked down originally.
Yeah, how much damage did it do? Wiktoria has a lot of power. If she were to get that mount, get an opportunity for ground and pound, it could be all she wrote. And this young lady can go back home to Poland with a victory and bounce back and get in the winning column again.
That's good.
And I think we see Wiktoria with at least one hook in. And she's keeping that heavy pressure.
That pressure doing a lot of damage against Yazmín.
Yazmín doing a good job controlling the wrist.
Staying very heavy. And right now, one good thing for Wiktoria, Alex, is that she has her coaches right next to her. She was able to listen in.
Watch the good.
Yazmín just riding the storm here. 2 minutes, though. 2 minutes could feel like ages in this position after you've been hit by that right hand. That first round definitely going for Yazmín, but this second is a different story.
And still with a minute and 46 seconds left in this round number 2, Yazmín's going to have to
Watch the back of the head. Watch the back
do
of the
a
head.
little bit more
Right there,
to get out of this position.
Yeah, Wojciechowska feeling very confident. Najera hanging on to those legs, but Ray Ramos, referee, giving him some pointers there.
Now she's looking to reverse this position.
Those shots, they're doing something. Enough
The way these legs are intertwined could be
like
some fun
pretzel.
jiu-jitsu stuff if
Let's go, ladies. Gotta
the
move.
opportunity presents itself.
Ray Ramos
Gotta
advising
move,
the
ladies,
fighters, show me something, show me something. Now Najera getting the upper hand, the half guard. But they're right next to La Jaula. What can she do here? What can Najera do, Alex, in this position?
I think she's really going to have to make a statement within these last 50 seconds to get the judges to put this round in her favor. Because after that knockdown, it looked very much in Victoria's way. But that first round was very much Yazmín. So the fact that she was able to weather the storm and reverse the position, if she can advance into, we're seeing what is the referee?
He's been advising the headbutts,
Yeah, move.
fingers move.
Tiene que mover. Tiene
Now
que
we're
mover.
seeing
Gotta
Victoria
move.
keep this grip. But it doesn't look.
Stop at the bell. Paren en la
Yazmín's
campana.
very aware of it. You don't want the last 10 seconds to
You got to
injure
show
your shoulder
something.
with a Cañon.
As we go and take a look back at this second round, Alex, that right
There
hand.
it was. Wow, beautifully placed. Absolute Polish power coming in. Because for the most part, I mean, she did come in with a spinning back fist as well in the beginning, so she was ready to mix it up, but that one was a lot of power because Yazmín has a tough, tough chin.
Sure does. She weathered the storm. Through all the marbles, Alex, this third round.
Seconds out.
We'll see a lot.
Mouthpiece. How you feel? You feel good? Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. ¿Cómo te sientes? Perfecto. Para atrás. Wait. Alita, you ready?
Last 5 minutes of the round. Najera in white. And from Poland, Wojciechowska making her debut in Combate Global. I don't know about you, Alex, but unofficially, we have to say 1-1.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. And now we're seeing Yazmín on the back foot a little bit more. That is not somewhere she wants to be. She is most dangerous when she is coming forward with that boxing style.
Oh, and not afraid to risk it all, going back with a spinning back fist just like she did in that second round.
But just like her teammate Alexa Grasso did to Valentina Shevchenko, that is a perfect opportunity to attack for a takedown, get to the back potentially. So will Yazmín be able to capitalize on some of those spinning attacks?
It's all about timing, Alex. But you must say, after weathering the storm in that first round, Wojciechowska does feel very confident after having a successful second round. What can she bring in the third that can make the difference? Will she keep that momentum? Will she find that lucky punch that will bring back to the canvas Najera?
Well, it's crazy because we've seen some very powerful overhand rights, but the only overhand right that has had enough to knock her down was from the Polish.
She tried to land that 12-6 elbow as Najera came in for a body shot. Stiff jab there from Wojciechowska. Another elbow. I love how these women are just risking it with the elbows and spinning back fists. Just goes to show you, man, they're here to deliver some entertainment tonight.
Yeah, I definitely think Yazmín should not stop with those body kicks because they were hurting Victoria.
Yes. I mean, a Superman punch. She
I
called
like
a
it.
Superwoman
She's
punch.
showing a lot in her arsenal.
She has a lot of tools in her box. Not afraid to hold back. Another spinning back fist. Elbows being thrown in there. But when you take those chances, Alex, You do leave that opportunity there, a little opening.
Yes, I am loving the slicing elbows. I am loving the jabs from Yazmín Nájera. If she can mix that, maybe add in more combinations instead of just 2 punches at a time, I think she could really start to weather. And now we saw a nice uppercut from Yazmín. You know all the bone breaker squads are losing their mind cheering for their girl Yazmín right now. She is an absolute warrior being able to weather the storm in that second round. Who will come up top for the last 2 minutes of the fight?
Najera likes that bra in the pocket. That's what she's looking for. And Wojciechowska is now holding back, representing her team, the shoot boxer Mosina. Went undefeated as an amateur. Now 3-2 as a pro. Another spinning back fist. You know, one of them just may land. You got less than 2 minutes to go.
But Yazmín's has gotten very good at predicting them coming. She is in the zone.
Has to be careful. She'll come in with those 12-6, so she's putting in that head right in front and center. If Wojciechowska could read it well, if she would land one of those things, could be an exciting ending to this fight.
And cardio is always important, but it isn't any more important than the last minute of your fight. And in the beginning, we saw Wiktoria seem a little weathered. Will it come into play now?
She is tough as nails, both of them. But Wiktoria withstood that first round, and Najera withstood that knockdown, which takes us to this last chapter of this 3-round fight. Stiff jab right to Wiktoria, taking it like a champ. Less than a minute to go.
We haven't seen, the roles have been reversed. So far this fight, it's been Wiktoria pinning Yazmín to the cage, but now let's see what Yazmín can get. This arm starting to be isolated, potentially some damage she could throw with the knees, but back at distance they are.
Hitting the 20-second mark. I can just predict, Alex, that these women are just going to go and leave it all in there.
Wow, the energy in here has picked up so much. Mexico versus Poland.
I can see this right here. Just women just going toe-to-toe to see who's going to land strike. It's a fight between these women. The 12-6 elbows. They're bringing it on.
Watch the go.
Standing ovation here in La Jaula. What a war.
What a finish. Wow.
Absolutely incredible. These women are beasts.
Great stuff from these women.
What a moment.
Javier Torres, her coach, out of Arizona's. Both corners, of course, very proud of their fighters for putting on a show, man. That's what we're all about here in Combate Global, especially our women. They bring it all.
And
nothing held back.
Yazmín did say she feels like a completely new fighter after gathering tools from Las Vegas, Tijuana, City of Mexico, and combining them all. And I feel like we've seen that. I don't think we've seen a Yazmín utilize the tools like she did.
Yeah, let's go to some of the action here, Alex. Toe-to-toe, throwing everything. We saw spinning back elbows, we saw Superman punches, we saw spinning back fists. We got everything.
We got a little bit of everything, and even a knockdown from Wojciechowska in the second round. But Nina Arbol fights back, gets through the third round, and then that flurry of strikes at the end of the third round to really seal the deal. But now, which way is the decision going to go?
I don't want to be the judges. Beatriz Calles.
After 3 rounds of much more action, this is the final decision. Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, esta es la decisión oficial. Los 3 jueces entregan tarjetas idénticas. 3 judges turn in identical scorecards of 29-28. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Todos a favor de la ganadora por decisión unánime. Desde México, Yazmín Nájera.
So they say, Alex, you never leave it to the judges.
And Nina Arbol gets it done, improves her record to 5-1, and now they're having some nice banter after the fact.
It's quite amazing stuff from these women, especially those last 10 seconds of the fight. Let's take a look at the highlights, Alex. Right from the start, the Polish Wojciechowska came in rocking and rolling, throwing everything from spinning back fists, body shots, but then the tables turned when Najera picked up the pace.
Yes, and she was really measuring her distance with that jab, and then when she also started mixing up the teeps and basically attacking from everywhere, it was just this one knockdown that really put her in a scary position, but she was able to weather that storm and even reverse the position, get on top, and finish strong. And I think that's why the judges made the decisions. It was unanimous across the board, and a great performance from La Niña Arbol.
I want to see those last 10 seconds again, because they brought everything. Nothing was held back. 12-6 elbows. Punches right in the pocket. 2-1 for Najera out of Mexico City. And here we go, our co-main event.
Oh boy.
Hayley, the Bloody Valentine. I'm sure those wrappings there will get a little bloody later on today. Out of the way from Northampton, England, taking on the debut of multiple boxing champion Kenia, the Mexican Queen Enriquez. Will she have success in MMA as she's had in boxing? We are about to find out. This is Combate Global live and free on YouTube.
What a night so far.
Man.
I got chills.
Man, if this is just the first of many fight cards to come in 2025, I can't tell you you're in for a lot of mucho más acción, much more action. Rodolph Roman, Alex Wendling calling the action this evening here on YouTube. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and shout out to our good friends at Bitmart, which our fighters will be getting paid tonight, Alex.
Yes, and they're celebrating their 7th anniversary. So happy birthday to Bitmart.
All right, ready to go. Hey, again, make sure you follow us too on our socials at Combate Global. We got our co-main event, Hayley Valentine taking on Kenia Enriquez. If you have not heard about Kenia Enriquez, and you're probably living in a cave or something, or you haven't come out and seen light, because this lady has been making headlines all over the media, LA Times. So many big media outlets have been writing about this young lady transitioning from boxing to MMA, and she's been putting in a lot of work in the gym, about to make that transition. Is she ready? We will find out in just a few, as she is part of the co-main event, taking on the undefeated English woman, Miss Hayley Bloody Valentine. Let's meet the fighters before they enter la jaula.
Soy Kenia Enriquez, soy de Tijuana, Baja California, México, tengo 31 años. Lo que siento al hacer esta transición es mucha emoción, porque en el boxeo son 12 años de profesional, 3 títulos del mundo en 2 diferentes divisiones, llevar por mucho tiempo esa posición de número 1, libra por libra, creo que te mantiene en un momento cómoda. Y llegar aquí, tenerte que ganar las cosas, empezar de cero, creo que eso me mantiene otra vez en el juego, ¿sabes? Y eso me gusta.
So my full name is Hayley, nicknamed The Bloody Valentine, and I am from Northampton, the United Kingdom. What drives me now is always my family and always my team. I've experienced traveling, meeting people, and gaining so much knowledge from martial arts. It's a real life changer for me. That's my drive.
Lo que sé de mi oponente es que es de Inglaterra, por lo que vi en sus videos es que le gusta pelear, le gusta soltar las manos, así que vamos a ver qué pasa con eso. Ella tiene más que perder, en este caso va invicta 5-0, así que yo voy con toda la adrenalina, la emoción y las ganas de obtener mi primera victoria y ella de mantenerse invicta.
I know that she is a very world-class boxer, definitely hands down right good record and a good experience behind her, so I know that she's going to have the striking behind her. But this is an MMA fight that we are getting into, so it's going to be a good fight, I'd say.
Entrando a la jaula, Hayley Valentine.
Hayley the Bloody Valentine, traveling across the pond from Northampton, England to Miami, Florida. Her last fight was back in July 2023. Undefeated, 5-0, won by decision. Trained under the BSD Academy with some good, important fighters there like Jordan Rusink. Beatrice Callis. Let's meet her opponent.
Su oponente, Kenia Enriquez.
All smiles, oozing charisma, Alex. Kenia, Mexican Queen Enriquez is no stranger to combat sports, a multiple champion in boxing in several weight divisions. She said, I think I've done a lot in boxing. Let me test myself and take my skills to the MMA world.
Yes, and she says a win tonight would prove to herself that she could see herself as a boxing champion and MMA champion. So starting off on the right foot is a really big thing for Kenia Enriquez.
The head-to-head Valentine 28 compared to the 25 of Enriquez. It's 3 inches advantage for Enriquez and the 64.6 reach. 114.2 for Valentine, 115 pounds for Enriquez as we go for the official introduction to our beautiful, talented ring announcer, Beatrice Callis.
Continuamos con mucha más acción este duelo. En la división peso paja, we continue with much more action this bout. In the strawweight division, los jueces son, the judges are James Lázaro, John Rupert, and Elian Rodríguez. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. En la esquina azul, in the blue corner, wearing blue and white, vestida de azul y blanco. Su peso oficial, 114.2 libras. Her official weight, 114.2 pounds. Esta noche, entra a la jaula invicta como profesional con 5 victorias. Tonight, she enters la jaula undefeated as a pro with 5 victories. From Northampton, England, Hayley the Bloody Valentine. En la esquina roja, in the red corner, wearing red, vestida de rojo. Su peso oficial, 115 libras. She tipped the scale at 115 pounds. Esta noche hace su debut profesional en la jaula. Tonight, she enters la jaula to make her professional debut. De Tijuana, Baja California, Kenia, Mexican Queen Enriquez. El referee, Christopher Miñoki.
Okay, bring it in. Vamos al centro. Okay, I'm going to do English and Spanish. Protect yourself at all times and obey my commands at all times. Cuídate todo el tiempo y escúchame todo el tiempo. Si quieres tocar guantes, tocar ahora. If you want to touch gloves, go ahead. Buena suerte to the both. Good luck to the both.
And here we go. All the hype is real. She's about to prove it here tonight. Kenia Enriquez out of Mexico, dressed in
Round 1.
red.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Her opponent,
fight!
All the way from England, Hayley Valentine with the white and the blue. Of course, right from the top, that striking game, that's what's going to be the difference. But can Valentine take this fight to the ground? She's looking forward to very, very early in the fight, Alex.
Yes, immediately looking at ways she can really shorten that distance and get in on a takedown. And Kenia says that she's very confident as long as she can control the distance, it's going to be a long night for Hayley. But Hayley's super cerebral and she's super invested, even as a fan, on how this fight could go.
Enriquez, and also now that this 12-6, the elbows, all these tools that she does not use in boxing come into play. Will she use it? Does she have a lot of confidence in using those tools? Listen, Amanda Serrano, one of the best female women boxers of all time, I would say, made her shots here in MMA and had success. Will Enriquez follow her footsteps?
I definitely think Hayley has the right idea, trying to chip away at some of those leg kicks. I think she needs to just let those calf kicks fly, try to make Kenia not be as mobile, because if she's getting in her boxing flow, it'll definitely be tough to weather that storm.
Which is quite surprising is if you see some of her previous fights, she throws in a lot of low kicks, especially to the inside thigh. Not a lot of them. I think it's because Enriquez is just doing a good job of keeping that distance.
100%.
Enriquez measuring where she's going to strike. Of course, unlike boxing, is not consistent punching, is more of a target.
Gotta imagine that there was a lot of strategy going in. Hayley is here with her head coach and also a former Cage Warrior champion.
Oh my
but
goodness!
Quickly
Did you
knocked
hear
down
that?
and quickly back up for Hayley.
Did you hear that, Alex?
It's very loud inside Univision Studios tonight.
Shook the desk here. Holy cow! That lady has some bricks in those hands.
And it's not just to the head. When she starts to get that body work in, it'll have us wincing over here, and we're just watching.
Now, we've seen some boxers that made the transition to MMA. We've seen some MMA fighters that made the transition to boxing. Not that much success in that turnaround. Hence Conor McGregor, Francis Ngannou. I can go on and on.
Now this is where it could get pretty interesting.
This is where Valentine wants this fight so she can work her way and get her to the ground, Alex. But does she have enough of that Howla psychology, Alex, for Kenia Enriquez to work around this position?
You definitely see her working the cage well, but you also have to remember that Hayley usually competes at 105, so you can really see the size discrepancy. She's not a true strawweight, which is at what this match is at currently. But she just proved to herself that she can get in, and once she's in, that is where she wants to be. Not at distance with a WBC champion on the feet.
Valentine training out of the BST Academy. Young folks train out there. She said she was intrigued to see how Kenia will do with her striking in MMA.
She's doing a great job so far, but we just heard in the corner of Hayley, she's breathing heavy now. These are your opportunities to work in a takedown, but I think the strategy for Hayley is to work in a takedown up against the cage. But we'll see if she wants to shoot from the center and be able to work some dominant.
Ooh, that 1-2 combination. And Hayley said no. No.
She is a tough cookie.
Oh, another straight one. That number 2 man coming in fast and furious like a comet. Valentine looking for a toss, the takedown. Good way though of Enriquez taking herself to the Hala, escaping out of that maneuver and taking the fight to the center of La Hala where she wants this fight. Now some body shots. Now she got that boxing. She's feeling very confident.
And Kenia Enriquez said in her interview that she is physically and mentally at her best. So we as fans can expect a lot of action. And now we're seeing her switch stance a little bit, really get into that flow with the last 20 seconds of this first round.
She's feeling that confidence. I haven't seen too many kicks from Kenia Enriquez. We'll be curious to see if she...
Does she need them?
No, but I mean, why not test yourself, right? This is MMA.
Exactly. And we actually haven't even seen that many kicks from Hayley. We're definitely going to have to see more because going tit for tat with Kenia is going to be a struggle for sure.
Time. Well, if we have to recap this round, I can tell you that Valentine is a tough cookie.
Yes.
Because she took some mean punches from Kenia. And let's take a look at some of the action from that first round. Beautiful left hand from Kenia, Alex.
Yeah, it was definitely a dominant performance in the striking, which is something that Hayley knew coming in. Her strategy is obviously to get things to the ground, and she was able to close that distance on some. And you saw her kind of shake off that hit.
I'm not sure she's nodding or she's like, just trying to shake it off. It could be one or the other.
I think it might be more shaking it off. I don't think it was a taunting, nah, that didn't hurt. But if it was, I would love the showmanship from Hayley.
It's all perception, Alex, all right?
Yeah.
We're going to go as I just brushed it off. It was just a punch, but I'm okay. I'm still here.
I love it. And into the second round we go. Hayley Valentine, I cannot wait to see if she can really force some of her strategy against Kenia.
Fight. Here we go, second round. Enriquez in red, Valentine in white and blue.
And Valentine coming out a little bit more aggressive this time, even after tasting some of the power of Kenia.
Now, one thing that has to be talked about is the cardio in a mixed martial artist and in a boxer. Could be a lot different, right? Because you're using more of the upper body in boxing. And in MMA, you get to use everything from the wrestling, from the striking. How much of a change could that be? Did Kenia train for that? How much work did she put? Those are all questions that we'll be able to answer it in this fight.
And a nice kick from Hayley Valentine. We're definitely going to have to see more of those.
Valentine still trying to find the opportunity to work her way in to take her opponent down. Enriquez, though, no stranger to MMA, even though she's making her debut. She's cornered the likes of Azul Lara, who's competed here in Combate Global, a very well-known female fighter in the MMA world.
Yeah, definitely the origin story of Kenia's MMA journey, being connected with such a powerful Colombiana like Alejandra Lara.
She cornered Lara. And it just goes to show you that she's been out here. She knows what it's like. So she is no stranger, training at La Lobo Gym, where Alexa Grasso trained, former champion of the world. Worked some of her jiu-jitsu down at Delta.
And we'll see if Hayley's able to do anything with this underhook here. Her coach calling out for some better head position. Now she has the head and arm at one point, but again, back at distance with 3 minutes left to go in the second round.
But I must say that Kenia Enriquez has definitely impressed me. She feels very confident. The psychology there in the hala used very properly. Remember, she's used to fighting in a ring. Now this is a hala, completely different dynamic.
And we talk about Hayley having more MMA experience. She started her pro career in 2022, but you also have to remember that Kenia is still a combat sports athlete, starting her pro boxing career in 2014. So that's a lot more time. Even if it's not inside a cage, it's inside the fight atmosphere. And so how they handle this moment in the second round is definitely going to show the mentality of both of these athletes. So tough, so strong, but who will be able to impose their strategy more?
1-2. Great action. You got that boxer versus MMA. Little homage, right, to how the whole sport started. Co-founder, El Jefe, Mr. Campbell McLaren, who was one of the co-founders of the UFC. When back in the day, you had different styles competing against each other. Shout out to the matchmakers as well here, Mike Waframowitz and Tony Padilla, who find these great talent, man, all over the world. That's one thing about Combate Global. We take a look at some of these fighters all over the world. They compete, find them in different parts that you probably thought they didn't compete or train MMA. Trying to use the feint again. Nothing, no kicks, no takedown attempts from Kenia Enriquez. She's banking really much on that boxing, that stellar boxing that has won her multiple championships.
Yeah, looks like she's really starting to have some fun out there. Maybe looking for that one power shot that could turn the lights out.
Will it favor Valentine to take this fight a little longer, make it go the distance?
I think going the distance definitely makes it tougher if she's in a position that Kenia's not used to, like these moments where they're up against a cage. Can she wear her down in these moments and really work in some of that Muay Thai, some knees, some elbows while she has her press up on the cage? And this is a great position with this high underhooks that she's forcing Kenia to kind of switch positions on.
He just switches levels here, try to go for the legs for Valentine. Great to land in a knee there too, it's an opening. Good way of Enriquez circling around though.
Hayley is the shorter fighter. It would be awesome to see her just put the hips in front of Kenia, get a head and arm throw to the ground, get her in a quick side control, and then another quick submission, but it's easier said than done.
Enriquez is just very strong.
She's so strong. You can really tell in these exchanges.
This is pretty much as close as she's gotten to an attempt to a takedown. But good way of positioning her hips in Enriquez. Not allowing that takedown to conclude.
Are we going to get a translation?
I will not translate that, but I will just tell you that she's doing a good job. We'll keep it at that. I mean, although this is YouTube, but, you know, we got to keep it clean here for all the children watching. Here's a look back at the action. Kenia Enriquez phenomenal combination. That boxing, man, is just crisp and clean.
Yeah, but we're seeing Hayley get under some of those punches and get that body lock. She hasn't been able to secure the takedown, but you got to imagine after 2 rounds with her, she might start to figure it out in the 3rd.
Try and don't get tired receiving. Let's do this. Let's go.
I love her fighting spirit. She's
LFG, here we go. Last round, 5 minutes. Valentine representing England. Enriquez hoisting that Mexican
Final round,
flag.
are you ready? ¿Está listos? Dale.
Even Chris McNulty using that Spanish for Dale. He got into the Miami vibe.
I like it.
It seems like you come in here, you just become Miami. You get that 305 culture from the Cafe Cubana to saying Dale. Kick off this last and final round, 5 minutes. Kenia Enriquez just looking in for that body shot, that 1-2 combination that will put an end to this fight. How sweet it would be that she will go home with a W in stellar fashion. Way of switching stance, and that could throw you off, Alex, when a person just switches stance right on the spot.
Yeah, she's definitely looking for her moment to close that distance.
There's that takedown. Can she finish it? And there it is.
Straight to the back. This could be a problem.
This could be it, Alex.
This could be a problem.
This was what Valentine was waiting for. Let's see, though, how much of a takedown defense work Kenia Enriquez is putting. You could see her eyes there. She's like, well, okay.
And Kenia Enriquez, she said that she was aware of the physique. She said that she was aware of the jiu-jitsu brown belt that Hayley Valentine has, but how much back defense has she been doing in this training camp? She hasn't needed it up until this point.
She has 1 leg in there, Alex. What can she do in this position here? She got 2 legs in there.
You got to imagine with 3.5 minutes to work.
Oh, plenty of time.
This could be a submission in the making.
In the MMA world, 3 minutes is like watching an entire football game. You got a lot of time to work with here.
Wow, you couldn't have scripted this fight any better because Kenia was working it on the feet. And in the 3rd round,
Alex,
a double leg takedown to the back.
What's available for here from Valentine? Rear naked chokes. What else we got?
She definitely looking to control as long as she can and really wear down Kenia. She's right now looking to basically get into some type of rear naked choke position, but Kenia's doing an all right job holding on. I mean, she does train with Alejandro Lara, so there's probably a lot of
And that could be very, very annoying for that person as she puts in that left arm into the face. She's just looking for that opportunity to sink it in right through her neck to capture it. But good way of hooking those legs in, Alex.
Yeah, but to secure it even more, she could go body triangle, really start to make it hard for her to breathe by just contracting her legs and the stomach. But until she gets that, she also might be looking to trap an arm.
Valentine looks very, very confident here. And you could tell at Enriquez, as she looks at her corners, like, okay, this is a new territory for me. She's looking. She's trying to listen, Enriquez, looking at her corner, trying to have for the hand signals. One thing, though, about Enriquez is she's composed. She's been in the position that this is new to her. As a pro MMA fighter, having so many years competing in boxing, this is new territory from her. How will she overcome this? And there it is.
Now
She may have something. Chin though way down, good way of Enriquez protecting herself. She's just waiting for the right moment, Alex, to sink in that rear naked.
But she's got to do it sometime soon with just 1 minute and 20 seconds left.
And for Hayley, she needs to do this because right now she's down the cards.
I think she's going to have to get creative with what she's trying to do here. If she doesn't have enough time for the choke, she can go for an arm bar. But basically, she is at advantage having Kenia on the ground right now.
But Valentine needs to do something here with less than a minute to go as she wants to get this victory. I would not leave it to the judges. And maybe she gets... nothing there. Good way of defending for Enriquez. doing enough what she has to. And then she gets the guard, Alex. Now this is interesting. What can she do from here? Let's see if those punches come in for Enriquez. Maybe some elbows, but good way of Valentine putting in that knee maybe for the shield to get off Alex.
An amazing work from Kenia.
Yeah.
For not getting submitted with her on her back for that long.
What's impressive is that she kept calm, cool, and collected. Didn't freak out. Maybe for the arm triangle, but maybe a little too late.
Stop. Good fight.
Little too late.
Crazy if we had saw a triangle armbar from there.
Well, I must say, very impressive stuff from Kenia Enriquez.
That absolutely delivered.
Dude.
We got multiple knockdowns.
Check your pulse, guys.
We got Kenia having to protect herself with a jiu-jitsu brown belt on her back for over 2 minutes in the third and final round.
Final round, that's what...
Awesome. Kenia Enriquez should be proud of herself.
Yeah, exactly.
Transitioning to MMA.
You know what? She's an atom,
As we take a look at some of the action that took place, Alex, of course the story here, right in that first and second, was the boxing from Kenia Enriquez. But in that last round, here, she survived the ground.
Yes, a great double leg takedown attempt and straight to the back. And then we saw even a moment of a potential triangle choke, but there was just not enough time on the clock. Great work from both of these fighters in your co-main event here at Combate Global. Fully female card, bringing the action all night from the prelims to the main card.
Put it on your calendar, April 10th. La Loba Acosta. We get ready for the official result.
And La Loba Acosta gave a shout out to Kenia, both from Tijuana.
So she knows what's up. As we go to Beatriz Calles. Who took this one?
After 3 rounds of much more action, this is the final decision. Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, esta es la decisión oficial. And the winner, by way of unanimous decision, la ganadora, por decisión unánime, de sangre mexicana, Kenia Enriquez.
She is now a savage in the ring and a savage in la jaula. Undefeated in MMA, phenomenal resume in boxing. This young lady could have a great success here in this sport.
And a great showing of sportsmanship. I love it. Trading the flags, respecting each other. I love it.
So
this is what women in combat sports is all about.
Matchmaker, Mr. Mike Afronowitz there. That lady had been all over the media outlets. Miss Hayley, the Bloody Valentine, taking on the boxing champion, Kenia Enriquez. The question was, did she have enough to take a win in MMA? And well, rightfully so. She survived that third round. It was the only time to take it to the floor.
Oh my gosh, that one was tough.
Tell me about it.
That overhand right from Kenia, and just the grit of Hayley Valentine to get up every single time and then work in her own takedown exchanges. But for the most part, it was a striking clinic from the boxer, which, you know, we can expect.
But what was most impressive is in the third round, a good 4 minutes, I would say, she stayed in that position. She didn't freak out. She looked at her corner, listened, and survived. There were opportunities there for rear naked chokes and so much more, but she withstood the storm and came out with a W.
Yeah, and Kenia did say in her interview that she's aware that she's a jiu-jitsu brown belt, so you knew she was not taking her lightly. And we saw that she was able to defend.
Great stuff, but now it leads us to the main event. Kate, Queen of the South Batch, all the way from London, England, coming to Miami, Florida to enter La Jaula, taking on this savage right here, Maritza Sanchez. Undefeated for what, about good 5 years, Alex. Can you believe that?
Oh, I can't believe it because she works every single day with some of the most elite trainers and training partners in the game, and she's hungry for this one.
And we are ready for this main event. Maritza Sanchez taking on Kate Bacik, and really excited for this one. Maritza told me, been training with Valentina Shevchenko. She said, I got a call from Uriah Faber here, Team Alpha Male, my head coach, and he said, hey, Valentine is in town. She's looking for some sparring partners. Want to come over? Yes, of course. She went in there. She said she learned a couple of things or two from the world champion, and we're about to see some of the stuff inside La Jaula. Took a year off, kind of reflect on her MMA journey, tweaked some couple of things, and even though she's on that winning streak, she says, I feel a little pressured, but I feel the pressure. I like the pressure. It makes me want to get that W.
Yes, she said that diamonds are made under pressure. She's aware that Katie Bacik is looking to redeem her most recent fight, which was a loss. So that adds a little bit of pressure to things, but we also know that Maritza Sanchez, this is her home. She's a homegrown Combate Global fighter, and she is ready to prove why you shouldn't challenge her inside Univision Studios.
Enough of the talking. Let's meet Bashik and Sanchez as they are about to duke it out inside La Jaula. Both these women coming in, Bashik 5-2 and Sanchez 6-1, wanting to make it a lucky 7 wins. That's just awesome. 7 wins in a row.
And some of her highlights, like Fernanda Marufo and Dee Begley, some of the craziest highlights.
Let's go to the package.
My name is Kate Bacik and I'm from South London, UK. I started Muay Thai when I was 17 years old. I kind of used to fight a lot, get into fights since I was a kid, and then my friend asked me to come to his Muay Thai gym and just start training there, and then I haven't stopped fighting since. I think that moment when I decided to train and to become a fighter was like when I was at the crossroads, and I chose that path and it saved me. That gave me that discipline and motivation to do better things with my life and to get out of the circumstances I was in.
My name is Maritza Sanchez and I'm from Pasadena, California. My motivation right now is to just get back in there. Really, it's been a while for me since I last fought. I'm super excited to showcase my new skills and my improvement in the game.
So it's very interesting as an all-female card. It's nice, you know, it's good to see that women get that recognition, the space to be themselves and show the skills and to get the spotlight.
I feel honored. I think it's amazing to be able to show what we as women can go out there and do. I think Kate is a really strong and aggressive fighter. I know she's going to come forward, so I am ready to go wherever the fight goes.
I think it's going to be a very dynamic, exciting fight, and obviously anything can happen. It's MMA, this is the beauty of the sport. But I think people are going to be very entertained watching this fight.
Entrando a la jaula, Kate Bashik.
Kate Bacik from London, England, making her Combate Global debut. Her last competition was in December. It was for a world title. Started off her martial arts career as a Muay Thai practitioner at a young age of 17 years old, then switched to kickboxing and, well, MMA. But her opponent awaits, Maritza Sanchez. Beatriz.
Su oponente, Maritza Sanchez.
Maritza Sanchez, no stranger to La Jaula. 6 victories in a row. This lady is looking for number 7, Alex, and they have in common that they both defeated Dee Begley, a former Combate Global athlete. But what stands out about this lady that makes her special?
I think it's the fact that she's representing the Mexican and American flag. She has that grit that we just don't see a lot of fighters have. Day in and day out, she's in love with the grind, and when it comes to the power, you know it's there.
Head-to-head, 31 for Kate, 27 for Sanchez, 5'7", even Stevens with the height. 69 inches and 68 for Sanchez. Just a slight difference of advantage for Bashik. And in the weight, 129.8 for Kate and 129.4 for Sanchez. As we get ready for the action, will be 7 in a row. We'll find out. Up next, Beatrice.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. Este es el evento estelar de esta noche. We continue with much more action. This is the main event of the evening. A un peso pactado de 130 libras. At a cash weight of 130 pounds, los jueces son the judges are Richard Green Sr., James Lázaro, and John Rupert. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. En la esquina azul, in the blue corner, wearing red and blue, vestida de rojo y azul, su peso oficial, 129.8 libras, her official weight, 129.8 pounds, con un récord profesional de 5 victorias y 2 derrotas, with a pro record of 5 victories and 2 losses. From London, England, Kay, Queen of South, Bashik. En la esquina roja, in the red corner, wearing black, vestida de negro, su peso oficial, 129.4 libras, her official weight, 129.4 pounds, con un récord profesional de 6 victorias y 1 derrota, with a pro record of 6 victories and 1 defeat. From El Dorado, California, Maritza Sanchez. El referee, Ramón Ramos.
Maritza. All right, ladies, went over the rules, right? Any questions over here? Any questions? God bless both. Shake hands now if you like. God bless both. Stay back.
Ray Ramos, third person in La Jaula. Our main event, Sanchez taking on Bashik. And shout out to all the folks there watching us live on YouTube and free.
Ready, ladies.
See you guys there making your comments. Appreciate the love. Straight right from the get-go. Kicks to kick off the bout, Alex. Ooh! Straight shot.
Exchanges already.
Hitter, quitter.
Oh my gosh. Maritza Sanchez coming in hot.
Man, I couldn't even take a deep breath. This might just finish very quickly. That's that referee cam showing you the point right there, full in front and center. However, Kate likes this here. Very well versed on the ground. Has picked up a few victories by way of submission. And we said earlier, Sanchez hasn't really been tested on the ground. Can Kate do it?
She's a jiu-jitsu brown belt, so she's looking for that knee bar right here, but
good way of scrambling for Sanchez.
Scrambling through, and sometimes when you overcommit to the knee bar and you don't get it, you give up your back. But man, in that opening exchange, you saw an immediate disparity in speed when it comes to Maritza on the feet.
Kate determined that this is where she wants to fight, to look for that submission victory. Last time.
And she's still looking. Ooh, this could be problematic if she gets the right angle. That is a knee bar right there.
Sanchez could be in trouble, Alex. All that body weight on that leg of Sanchez, Alex. What can she do in this position? It could be dangerous waters.
She's definitely going to have to make sure her knee is out of the knee line right here, but you can see some extension happening.
That's one thing about Combate Global. Our women are tough as nails, and you may think the fight is done, but they come back and give it their all.
And you're hearing from the corner of Bacik, full pressure.
Okay, but that position, Alex, overextending that leg.
Yeah, it's like an arm bar, but for your legs.
Could be very dangerous, problematic here, as she keeps on pulling in. That leg is dangerous, Alex.
Oh, gosh.
This could be very, very tight right there. Kate from England, the W. We talked about it. That the ground game could be a problem for Sanchez. Kate read it like a book and used it for her advantage and picked up the W. The lady from London, England is flying across the pond with a W on her chest.
And we're going to have to get a replay of that opening exchange. It's almost like, did Kate plan to go to the ground that immediately? It almost looked like she was knocked down.
Ooh, a comeback from behind. That is awesome. Put a stop to Sanchez' 6th fight in a row victory.
And sometimes that happens. You just get overzealous and you come in with a game plan. You want to get that knockout. You're feeling the hype. You get her down.
Let me tell you, I was, whoo, that looked very dangerous. Very, very frightening there for a minute there for Sanchez, how she was overextending that leg. Could have hyperextended it.
There was definitely a little bit of a hyperextension there. Maritza's tough. If she didn't have to tap, she wouldn't have. And that was just textbook perfect execution of a knee bar.
Holy cow. I have to bite my lips there. Let's take a look at it. Look at that extension, man. It's,
all that pressure.
I don't care how much yoga you've done, dude, but that hurts. Hopefully Sanchez there came out all right.
Seeing a lot of pressure on that hamstring as well, but man, she did not give up on it. Once she was in that position, she just kept fighting for that knee bar.
Well, you know what? The good thing about this is that Sanchez came out okay. I don't see any limping. I don't see any hardships from that fight. That's the important part. As long as our athletes get back home and walk well. But that's a scary,
this
scary
is one
visual.
of the craziest submissions that we have seen in the Combate Global Jaula. And an emotional Kate Bacik getting it done live and free on YouTube.
But I don't care what you say.
That was an amazing submission.
Our women are tough as nails, withstood the pain. Shout out, congratulations to Ms. Kate, Queen of the South Bashik. We go to the official result. To Beatriz Calles.
El tiempo oficial, 2 minutos y 19 segundos del round número 1, the official time. 2 minutes and 19 seconds of round number 1. And the winner, by way of submission, la ganadora por sumisión, Kate Bashik.
She picks up the W, makes it 6-2. Kate, Queen of the South Bashik, puts an end to the winning streak of Maritza Sanchez.
And when I talked to Kate, I asked her why she wanted to accept a challenge like Maritza Sanchez, someone who is so a homegrown star here at Combate Global, and she just said, it's just another day at the office. And that's exactly what she made it look like today.
You know, at one point, that fight looked like it ended with that knockdown from Sanchez, but she withstood the pain, weathered the storm, and took the victory with that submission. That's what MMA is about, right? When you're in trouble, you keep your cool, calm, composed, and fight that opportunity, Alex. Break it down for us.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see this opening exchange between them.
Right there.
It's almost like she didn't get hit as hard as she was making it out to be. It's almost like that was part of the game plan.
Well, Sanchez has a lot of power, but this right there, that visual, man. For some, it could be a little weak on the stomach there for some, but I must say it shows the tenacity that these athletes in La Jaula have. Man, my hat off to Maritza Sanchez. She seemed okay. That's what's important. Not more she be able to go walk into the gym and get ready for another battle, but whoa, ooh-wee. What a fight card, ladies and gentlemen. Combate Female, Combate Global 2025 season has delivered, and we are back. That's right. April 10th, we'll be back here live on YouTube. Luis Pride Escudero. If you have not seen this dude, he competed not too long ago in Combate Global's La Jaula. A very fun dude to watch. Almost reminds me of like a manga character because he does all these weird, fancy looking type of kicks. Exciting fighter, just like all of our fighters here in Combate Global. Alex Wendling, it has been phenomenal. It has been great to be back.
Of course, it has been amazing. Look at the action that these ladies brought.
Check your pulse, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can sleep because there's a jar of adrenaline for Rodolfo Roman, Alex Wendling, and all the staff here in Combate Global. We'll be back April 10th with mucho más acción.